Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of composite material classes. Okay, as I had told in the last class that I will discuss some of the MCQs questions which has appeared in GATE exam and is related to brick. So that I'll do in the next class. Okay, in the tomorrow's class, I will discuss those MCQ questions. As it is a 2 hours class, so I will start with the new chapter. Okay, so our new chapter is about timber. Okay, so what is timber? Timber, you know, right? Timber is nothing but it is wood. Okay, wood that we get from the trees. Okay, so that wood is called as timber. So let us discuss in detail and depth about the timber. Okay, each and everything related to the study which is there about the timber we will discuss. Okay, so what is timber now? See, a tree is basically consists of 3 parts. Okay, if you take any tree, it will be containing 3 parts. Okay, suppose this is your tree. Okay, so namely there are 3 parts in the tree. First is trunk. What is trunk? So this portion is called as trunk from here to here. So this portion is called as trunk. Next is crown. What is crown? So this whole portion which is there above the trunk. So this is called as crown. Okay, so the third one is roots. So what is roots? Roots will be under the ground. Okay, so like this, something like this. So these are the roots. Okay, so a tree is basically consisting of 3 parts, and namely those are trunk, okay, which is a stem portion. Okay, this stem portion is nothing but the trunk, and crown is nothing but the things which comes above the trunk. Okay, after the trunk there will be branches, then sub branches, then leaves will be there, right? So that all togetherly called as crown. And next is root which is there below the trunk and it is underground. Okay, so this is a basic thing that everybody knows already. Okay, so this tree consists of 3 parts, that is trunk, crown and roots. The function of the trunk is to support the crown and to supply the water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves through branches and from the leaves back to the roots. Okay, so what is the function of trunk here? Okay, the function of the trunk. Function of trunk is nothing but to support the crown. Okay, so above portion, you know, that is the crown. Okay, so the crown is supported by trunk. Okay, crown is supported on trunk. So trunk is there, above the trunk crown is there. What is crown? Crown consists of branches, sub branches and leaves, right? So this crown, the function of trunk is to support the crown. Okay, and not only to support the crown, and also to supply water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. Okay, what this trunk will do? First function is to support the crown. Okay, the first function of trunk is to support the crown. Okay, first is support the crown, then one more function is it takes the water and nutrients from the roots. Okay, so this trunk will take the water and nutrients from the roots and it will supply it to the leaves through branches and sub branches. Okay, so finally the water and nutrients will go from roots to the leaves by trunk. Understood? So this is the function of trunk. So here 2 functions are there. One function is supporting the crown and second function is supplying the water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. Okay, nutrients and water will be supplied by the trunk through roots to the leaves. Then from the leaves it will go back to the root again. Okay, that water and nutrients which is been supplied to the leaves, so there the photosynthesis, that all processes will happen and food will be prepared, and that again it will be supplied to the roots. Okay, so the function of trunk is taking water and nutrients from the roots and supplying to the leaves and giving it back to the roots again. Okay, so the roots are meant to implant the trees in the soil. Okay, so what is the function of root here? Function of root is to implant. Okay, to implant the tree in the soil. Okay, so the roots are implanting, means they are adhering in the soil to make the tree stand on the ground. Understanding? So root is what this root does, it implants the tree. Okay, it implants the tree in the soil to absorb the moisture and mineral substances. Okay, so what this root does, it will absorb the moisture and mineral substances from the ground and to supply to the trunk. Okay, so what is this root is doing? It is taking the moisture content and mineral content from the ground. Okay, so these roots are absorbing mineral substances and moisture content from the ground, and it is giving it to the trunk. Now this trunk is supplying this water, nutrients, and this mineral contents to the leaves by branches and sub branches. So there the all phenomenon happens and it goes back to the roots again. Okay, so there is a detailed structure of this one here. From the visibility aspect, the structure of tree can be divided into two categories: macrostructure and microstructure. Okay, so two structures are there: macrostructure and microstructure. So what is macrostructure? The structure of wood visible to the naked eye, okay, at a small magnification is called as macrostructure. Okay, the following are the components of macrostructure, that is there in the next slide we will discuss. Okay, so what is macrostructure? Macrostructure of wood is nothing but the components of the wood which is visible by our naked eyes. Okay, from our eyes we will be able to see those. Okay, by magnification, not micro magnification. Okay, it is visible by naked eyes. Okay, if you see it with some concentration, okay, so it will be visible to you people. Okay, so that structure is called as macrostructure. Okay, so what are the components of macrostructure? We will see that you can see it from through your eyes. Okay, here you can see the components are there which will be visible in the wood if you see from your eyes. Okay, this is the cross section of stem. Okay, this is the cross section of stem. Okay, so you can see here the outermost portion. Okay, the outermost portion is called as outer bark. Okay, this outermost portion which is there, so this is called as outer bark. This is the hard portion. Okay, so these all components we will discuss in detail in the coming slides. Okay, now just I am showing which component is which in the figure. Okay, then we will discuss all this in detail. This is called as outer bark. Okay, now this is inside portion. Okay, so now this inside portion is there. No, this is called as inner bark. Okay, it is written here, inner bark. Okay, so this portion, inner portion, this is called as inner bark. Okay, so remember the outermost portion is called as outer bark, and inside of that it is inner bark. Okay, outer bark, and this is inner bark. Next, after outer bark and inner bark, if you again go inside, then this portion. Okay, so this portion is there. No, so this portion is called as cambium layer. Okay, here it is written, you can see this is cambium layer. if you go from outside to inside, the outermost part is outer bark. Okay, outer bark. The inner portion is called as inner bark. After inner bark, if you go again inside, then there is a cambium layer. Okay, what you will get? You will get cambium layer. After cambium layer, you will get the growth rings. Okay, so this cambium layer is over now. Okay, this is a cambium layer. After this cambium layer, here your growth rings will start. Okay, so this line you can see, this is a growth line. Okay, it is not only sorry, growth ring, not growth line. It is called as growth ring. Okay, it is for the full diameter. Here you can see it is all round here. Growth rings. It is not only one ring. As you go inside and inside, you will get the rings here. Okay, so as you go inside, you will get the rings. Okay, you will get the rings here. So these all are called as growth rings. Okay, so after growth rings, okay, after growth rings, you see for these growth rings, there is one more line. Okay, there is one more line which is going perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular to the growth line, growth rings. Okay, you can see this line. Okay, which is almost perpendicular to the growth rings. Okay, so these lines or these are called as medullary rays. Okay, you can see it is there here. So this is okay, mouse is not working properly. Okay, so these are called as these are called as medullary rays. Okay, the rays or the lines which are almost perpendicular to the growth ring. Okay, so again if you go inside, there are again those annular rings are there. Okay, or growth rings are there. Growth rings are also called as annular rings, that we will discuss when we are discussing in detail about growth rings. Okay, so these growth rings which are there inside, okay, in the innermost portion, are called as heartwood. Okay, the innermost portion of the wood, or the inside portion. Okay, you might have seen big wood which has been cut, which is cut. You can see in the centermost portion, it will be black in color. Okay, it will be black in color. So that is called as heartwood. Okay, it is called as heartwood. Okay, and the centermost portion, okay, the very centermost portion, you can see this is called as pith. Okay, what it is called? This is called as pith. Okay, so these are all the components of timber or wood which is visible by our naked eyes, and these are called as, this is called as macrostructure. Okay, it is called as macrostructure. Okay, what are those components? First one is outer bark. Okay, outermost portion is called as outer bark. Okay, this is togetherly it is called as bark actually. Okay, it is bark, that's all. The outer portion is called as outer bark, and inner portion or inner surface is called as inner bark. Okay, for the bark from the outside which is visible, that is called as outer bark. For that bark itself, from the inside, it is called as inner bark. Okay, so overall the outer portion is bark. After bark, if you go inside, then there is a cambium layer. Okay, cambium layer is there. After cambium layer, there will be growth rings. Okay, growth rings will start. As you go inside, you will get heartwood. Okay, you will get heartwood. Then after heartwood, the centermost portion of the wood is called as pith. Okay, it is called as pith. Then for these growth rings there are lines again, okay, which is like perpendicular, so that is called as medullary rays. Okay, it is called as medullary rays. Understood, no, these components. Now one by one we will study these components. Okay, the first one is pith. So what is pith? The innermost central portion of the core. Okay, so pith is nothing but the innermost central portion of the core of the tree is called as pith or medulla. Okay, it is called as pith, or one more name is medulla. It can be called as medulla also. Okay, so what is pith? In the figure also we have seen. It varies in size and shape for different types of trees. Okay, so the size and shape of the pith varies for different trees. Depending on the particular tree, the size and shape of the pith varies. It consists entirely of cellular tissue and nourishes its plant at its young age. Okay, so what this pith is consisting of cellular tissues. Okay, this is consists of cellular tissues, and it nourishes the plant when it is in young age. Okay, when the plant is new, or when the tree is new, means after growing for some age. Okay, when a tree or plant grows for some age, at that time this pith will be in a very active stage, means it grows in its young age. Okay, and as the plant grows and grows and it gets older, it starts to become hard. Okay, so this the actual occurring of this pith takes place when the plant grows for some age, or when the tree grows for some particular age, and this is very active when it is in young age. Okay, when the plant becomes old, the pith dies up and decays, and the sap is then transmitted by the wood fibers deposited around the pith. This the pith of the branches is nothing but merely a prolongation of the stem. Okay, so what is this pith now? This pith is formed when the tree grows some old. Okay, when the tree becomes little older, at that time the centermost portion of the tree will get dies up. Okay, it will become dead. It is a dead portion. Okay, it is a dead portion. Okay, then actual phenomena that is required for the tree to grow, that is taking the nutrients and water from the roots and supplying to the branches and leaves, so that work will be carried out by the material or the sap which is around the pith now. Okay, so this work was carried out when the pith was active. Okay, at that time the pith was actually not there. That was the portion which was doing that work. Okay, so supplying of nutrients, water and all. But as the tree grows, the diameter of the stem also increases, right? The diameter of stem also increases. Okay, so at that time the centermost portion will get died. Okay, the centermost portion will get died. Okay, and that is called as pith. Okay, then remaining work, that is carrying of the water and nutrients, will be taken up by the sap which is around the pith. Okay, in the surrounding of the pith. So like this the formation of pith will be there. Okay, then it is not, this pith will not only be there in the stem only. If you go to the branches also, there will be pith. Okay, that there will be pith. So that pith is nothing but the continuation of pith which is there in the stem. Okay, it will be the continuation of that, or the prolongation of that pith from the stem will go into the branches also. Okay, not small branches, big branches or older branches. Understood what is this pith is? Okay, so next is heartwood. Oh, okay. Next macro structure that you can see from your naked eyes is heartwood. The inner annular rings. Okay, the inner annular rings, or in the figure we have seen, right? So that surrounding the pith constitute the heartwood. It is usually dark in color. Okay, so what is heartwood? Okay, around the pith. Okay, around the pith, you can see I have showed you already. Let us go back and see once again. Okay, see, growth rings or annular rings. I told you both are same. So this is the pith here. Centermost portion is pith. So around the pith, okay, means in the surrounding of the pith. So these annular rings are there, no? These annular rings or growth rings. So these are called as heartwood. Okay, it is called as heartwood. So this heartwood is usually black in color or dark in color. Okay, so this heartwood is usually dark in color. As a matter of fact, it indicates the dead portion of the tree, and as such, it does not take active part in growth of the tree. Okay, for the development of the tree to grow further, this will not take any part, any active part it will not take. Okay, so this is around the pith, and it is dark in color. Okay, but it imparts rigidity to the tree, hence it provides strong and durable timber for various engineering purposes. Okay, so what is the use of this? After the tree, okay, after the total life of the tree, when you cut it down for using the timber, at that time this pith, hardwood and all is there, no? These are the very rigid portion. Okay, this is the very rigid and hard portion of the tree. Okay, so this can be used for any purpose, for whatever you make with the help of wood, that you can use. So this portion which is there at the centermost as a pith, so this you can use it for any material, and for the manufacture of anything, and that will be strong and durable. Okay, so that portion will be very strong and durable. Even though when your tree is standing, at that time, if there is a heavy wind flow or something like that, at that time this hardwood or this pith will be the main reason for your tree to standing. Okay, it will not allow the tree to bend, as it is very hard portion and it is at the center of the tree. Understood? So this is called as hardwood. Okay, don't get confused between the pith and hardwood. Okay, pith is the very centermost portion, and hardwood is nothing but surrounding the pith there are annular rings or growth rings. Okay, up to some extent, not to the total outermost portion. Okay, for some extent after the pith there is a hardwood. Okay, so don't get confused between these two. Next is sapwood. So what is this sapwood? The outer annular rings. Okay, sapwood is nothing but outer annular rings. Okay, inner annular rings are hardwood. Now outer annular rings are called as sapwood. Okay, so between hardwood and cambium layer is known as sapwood. Okay, so let us go back to the figure again. Okay, here in this figure you can see, so inside portion is hardwood. Suppose this much portion. Okay, so this is hardwood. Now what is cambium layer? Here, from here you can see, from here to here. Okay, so this is total is called as cambium layer. Okay, so this much is hardwood, and remaining this one, this portion, it is cambium layer. Understood? So this is cambium layer. Now remaining in between this pith and cambium layer. Okay, so this centermost portion is called as sapwood. Okay, so sapwood is in between heartwood and cambium layer. Understood? Now it is usually light in color. Okay, it is light in color uh, and light in weight. It indicates recent growth and contains sap. Okay, so this sap is light in color. Okay, so heartwood and pith, so these are dark in color. Okay, it is the centermost portion in the tree. Okay, as you go outside, after first center is pith, after that heartwood, after that is your sapwood. Okay, sapwood is light in color and it is light in weight also. Okay, compared to heartwood and pith, sapwood is light in color and it is light in weight. And this sapwood is a recent growth. Okay, this sapwood is it is a recent growth in the tree, and this sapwood is responsible for the transfer of your water and nutrients and those all things. Okay, and this center portion, heartwood and this pith is there, no, it is a dead portion now. Okay, it is a dead portion. So this pith and heartwood was active when the plant was in young age. Okay, as the plant goes old and old, or the tree grows old and old, the center portion will start to die. Okay, it will be hard and it will be dark in color. Okay, whereas sapwood is light in color and it is light in weight, and this is responsible for the transfer of ingredients. The annular rings of sapwood are less sharply defined than those of heartwood. Okay, so in the heartwood, those annular rings or growth rings are clearly visible. Okay, so those rings will be clearly visible in the heartwood. But whereas in the sapwood, those annular rings will be there, but those will not be clearly visible. Okay, it will not be very defined. It will not be very clearly visible. Okay, it takes active part in the growth of the tree, and the sap moves in upward direction through it. The sap is also known as alburnum. Okay, so the sap is also called as alburnum. Okay, so this sapwood is responsible for the growth of the tree. Okay, this sap is responsible for the growth of the tree, and this sap is also known as alburnum. Is that clear? Okay, now because of this 40 minutes limit, the meeting will get disconnected. You people join it back again, then we will continue the discussion.